Harold.
Well, Babs, what are you doing here?
Me? What are you doing here?
What do you mean?
Don't get cute with me, Harold. Is this some kind of cruel joke you've been playing or what?
What are you talking about? And how did you find me?
I can't believe it's you.
Give me one good reason why we can't go out to breakfast.
Because no restaurant let me in dressed like this.
Well, then change.
Sorry, you're looking at the new and permanent wardrobe of Russ Weaver.
All right, I'll make us breakfast.
I already ate.
Oh, what did you have?
Coffee, and before you say anything else, that's all I'm going to have.
Oh, coffee. That's great.
Yeah, well, I thought that I needed it. Figure if you can be a loser, what the heck, you might as well be awake to enjoy it.
Okay, Mr. Loser. Excuse me.
Don't do that. You're not a housekeeper.
No, I'm not a housekeeper, but I can't stand this mess.
You probably can't stand my life, because that's what it is.
Are you trying to force me out of your life? Is that it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's not going to work. You're not going to force me out, so you might as well stop. Have you even been outside of the apartment?
No, and I'd appreciate no more suggestions.
I wasn't suggesting anything. I was just asking.
Fine.
May I ask another question?
You just did.
You know what I mean.
Sure, Marianne, ask all the questions you want. For every little question you got, I got a definite maybe for you.
Contrary to what you might think, Russ, the clouds are going to pass over here, and the sun's going to shine again.
What is that? Why don't you put that in a song and send it off to Becky?
You know, you're trying to make me think negative like you are, but it won't work. Anyway, when you get back to your old self, you're going to start thinking about your future.
Future I left at Kingsley Jenner, huh?
No, the future that you're going to have.
Ah, it's a fairy tale. Very good.
Will you stop it? I am trying to tell you something. I don't need your self-pity.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm trying to tell you something too, Marianne.
I want to offer you a job with Prescott Development. Least you could do is hear me out.
What?
Yes, you could have a future there. We need a man.
Forget it, Marianne. Are you kidding me? You offering me a job? The last thing in the world I would want to do is work for Prescott Development or you, for crying out loud.
Well, Babs, what are you doing here? Come on, what's going on?
It's you.
Yeah, it's me. Who'd you expect? And how did you find me?
Well, I just...
Come on, Babs, knock it off and give me a straight answer.
What is going on here?
Who's that?
Who do you think it is?
Well, I'm not
I
sure.
don't like you conducting your business on my time, Wifter. I've got another appointment, you know. Oh, Miss Farley.
Of course. Now it makes sense.
What does?
Nothing.
Are we going to be staring here at each other, or are you going to offer us an explanation, Barbara?
Well, I mean, could I come in or what?
Are you going to offer us a choice?
Thought you had an early court date, Webster.
Yeah, I do. I had some business to take care of here first. Now, I'm going to ask you this question one time only, and I demand an answer. How did you know I was here?
Well, I didn't.
Well, then what are you doing here? You got business with Vince.
Yeah.
I see. Vince, look over these papers. I'll call you later in the day to see if you got any questions, but you should find everything perfectly clear. Just as clear as this situation suddenly is to me.
Well, Miss Farley, what possible business could we have together?
Just call me Babs. Are we alone now?
Well, I should hope so. What is this, some kind of a joke?
No, it's anything but that.
Well, I'll say it again. What business could we possibly have together?
Well, I guess you know what I was, or what I used to do.
You was a hooker. Am I supposed to know more about you beyond that?
Yeah, like, you know, maybe who my old man was?
Okay, who did you turn tricks for?
Ronnie Washington. Sound familiar?
Look, Miss Farley,
One more thing. You ever heard of a guy they call the Prince?
You wouldn't be working for me. You'd be working for my father's company. We'd be co-workers.
Your father's company, huh? And who's running Prescott Development these days, Marianne?
That is a temporary arrangement, and you know it.
Mm-hmm. You don't like self-pity. You know what I don't like? Other people's pity. Is that the kind of relationship we're going to have, you and I?
You think I'm offering you this job because I pity you?
Yes, I do. There's no difference between that and sticking a couple bucks into a drunk's tin cup.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You're a well-qualified junior executive. You've got a track record to prove it.
Yeah, just ask anybody at Kingsley General.
If your resume crossed my desk along with any number of other resumes, yours would be a standout.
Yeah, I bet nobody else ever been given so much and threw it away quite like I did.
Well, all right. There's no denying that you've made a mistake or two.
Oh, you've got a wonderful way of turning a phrase.
But see, that's what makes you all the more valuable. You've learned from your mistakes.
Well, why do I get the feeling that if I were to introduce myself to you as an axe murderer, you'd find some kind of virtue in that?
Russ, I'm seeing this whole situation from a point of view that you can't right now. I understand your misgivings, but please trust me on this.
Marianne, you're seeing this from a point of view of a woman whose boyfriend's lousy career move messed up her romantic life. And you're doing anything you can to make it right again.
That's not true.
It is too true. I appreciate your motives, but I resent your offer. I don't want to hear any more about it. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'd love to have heard Gil's reaction to this. It'd almost be worth it just to hear that.
You know, I had a real wild thought when I first came in here. You want to hear it?
Not particularly.
I think you're the guy that Ronnie calls the Prince. Interesting, huh?
Very. You don't think very often, do you?
Often enough.
Tell me, Miss Farley, why are you so interested in finding him, this Prince?
Good question.
Thank you. Well,
Well, it takes a lot of guts to do what I did, you know? I mean, I was with Ronnie for 6 years. I was his best. His personal favorite. He cared for me. Then, things started to change.
yeah, well, time treats some women better than others, that's all.
Hey, I got news for you. In that business, time doesn't treat anybody good.
I'm touched, truly touched. Is that what this is all about?
No. No, it's just that I could see where my future with Ronnie was going. And I want out, see? It's just that when you team up with Ronnie, you team up till death do you part. Literally.
That doesn't sound like you made a very smart move, does it?
Well, maybe I think I can beat him at his own game. Maybe I've got some information that'll put him away.
Just, what kind of information is this you're talking about?
Well, I'd have to know that I was talking to his boss first.
Why don't you tell me? Maybe I would tell him. Maybe I know who it is.
Maybe. You like that word a lot, don't you?
Look, suppose you just tell me, huh?
Okay, okay. What if Ronnie was selling dope for his boss at one price? Or he thinks it's one price, but he's really marking it up and selling it for another. Only Ronnie's pretty smart, you know, so he just does a little bit here and a little bit there. But those little bits start to add up to almost 80,000 bucks. That's 80,000 bucks that belongs to the Prince. And, all the time Ronnie's laughing in his face, thinking he's made a fool out of him. What do you think of that? Tell me, is this Prince guy as stupid as Ronnie says, or what?
Without any proof, I think it sounds like a jealous hooker trying to get even with her pimp.
Oh, yeah, I've got proof, all right. I got photocopies of both sets of books.
Well, where is it? Let me see it.
Well, I got it stashed in a safe place.
You bring it to me, and then we'll talk.
Are you the prince, then?
I want to see that proof before I give you an answer.
If I do decide to come back with it, is that going to be all I need to get Ronnie off my back once and for all?
Sweetheart, you show me this evidence that you've got. And believe me, you can go wherever you want to go. For as long as you like. That clear?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Mr. Webster?
Miss Redland.
I only knocked because there was no one out there to check in with. Did I come at a bad time?
I'm sorry, Miss Redland. Please forgive me. I guess I'm just having a bad morning.
Huh.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm here because of Miriam. There's been nothing new on my end, and I thought maybe you might have turned up something.
No, ma'am, I haven't. I'm sorry. Did you talk to Sergeant Brubaker?
Oh, yes. Terry Davison and I went down there this morning, but he hasn't been able to offer anything either.
Yeah, it sounds just like Sergeant Brubaker. He's about as useful as a glass eye at a keyhole.
Oh, I wouldn't come down so hard on him. In all fairness, he hasn't time to do much of anything.
I bet that's just exactly what he told you, too, isn't it?
Well, yes.
At least he's consistent. It's always the same excuse. Please, sit down.
Well, he did tell us one thing, though.
Yeah, probably how much he sympathized with you.
No. He said he was going to bring Nancy Lawson in for questioning.
Yeah?
Well, yes, because of her past treatment of Miriam, he thinks it's suspicious enough to connect her with this disappearance.
I hate to admit it, but he might have something there. Why didn't I think of that myself? Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to hurt Miriam, it'd be Nancy.
Oh, well, now let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, we'll come up with something. I got my own man working on it, McCormick. Now, he's good. He's the one that found Helen Carpenter up in Canada. He'll find her. What he's working on right now is the possibility that Miriam might be visiting with her mother.
Oh, well, I don't want to discourage you, Mr. Webster, but I don't think that's likely.
You mean because of the letter, right?
Well, yes, Miriam knew her son had written to her, and she's waiting for that letter week after week, and I think that she wouldn't have just taken off for Canada. That doesn't seem to make any sense.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also believe in following out everything you possibly can. You never can tell what might turn up.
That's true.
Harold, I'm back. Oh, hi, Ione. What are you doing here?
What you doing here is not any of your business. I don't believe I requested your presence, so if you'll just excuse us.
Well, excuse me. I just thought we were more friends than business associates.
Which just goes to show once again how wrong you can be.
Oh, now, wait a minute, you two. Now, don't go fighting on account of me, because I was just leaving.
No, Ms. Redland, you stay, please. Babs can wait.
Oh, well, you've been more than considerable help to me, and I thank you very much. And I'm sure any differences you two might have, you can work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Harold, I don't know what you were thinking earlier on, but if
There's no need for you to explain anything, Babs. It's perfectly obvious what was going on over there.
Before you start complaining about how much I do for you, all I had to do was open up the carton and pour the juice into a glass. Oh, 2 glasses. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell me something, Marianne. Mm-hmm. Did you tell Gil you wanted to hire me? Well,
he, wasn't that enthusiastic about the idea.
I'll just bet he wasn't.
But, Gil doesn't have the final say if you decide to accept...
I didn't bring the subject up again so that you could make another offer. I really don't want to hear any more about it.
Russ...
No!
I guess that means I should answer it.
I guess it does. Doesn't make any difference to me one way or the other.
Oh, Mr.
Miss Prescott.
Hi.
Oh, well, I guess it's going to be another one of those days, isn't it?
I'm afraid so.
Well, if you are enjoying Russ's company, that's all you are enjoying.
As I recall, I don't remember inviting either one of you over here. Or I didn't invite you to stay either.
Huh. I came over to ask you to go out to lunch, both of you. My treat.
Well, it'd have to be. I don't have a job.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. We'd love to.
I hope that we doesn't include me.
I hoped it would.
Goodbye, Marianne. Goodbye, Vince.
Well, it's by default, certainly, but it's by far the better arrangement. Will you have lunch with me, Miss Prescott?
Say yes, Marianne.
Well, yes, I'd love to.
Wonderful. We'll send a hearse over for you in about a half an hour.
You don't have to stop kissing me.
Well, I do if I want to stay around here and have lunch later.
Oh, who's hungry?
I am.
You're a party pooper.
Little lady, I got news for you. I promise you'll take those words back later.
I certainly hope so.
My goodness. Hey, I have something I want to tell you.
That sounds serious.
Well, it is.
Okay. What?
I just wanted to let you know that last night and this morning, well, it was us. For the first time, there was no ghost from the past.
Gene, I've been praying for you to say that. You've made me so happy.
Oh, gosh, I don't know how it happened or why it happened. Maybe I just didn't care, but... You know, I looked into your eyes, and then all of a sudden I saw the present, the way it used to be. The past was just unimportant. And I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, what you saw was the happiness that you give me. No one else has ever gotten that love, because no one else has ever been able to make me happy.
You think I was there to turn a trick? How could you?
Tell me you weren't.
I wasn't.
Yes, sure.
Harold, what is this?
Why were you there?
Well, I can't go into that right now.
I understand it's all perfectly innocent. You mysteriously show up at a hotel where I'm conducting legitimate business, and when I ask you for an explanation, you offer that you were there to see the other gentleman privately. Now, if you were me, Babs, what conclusion would you come to?
Things aren't necessarily what they seem. I should think that you'd be the last person I'd have to explain that to.
Looks like a leopard can't change his spots after all.
Oh, great. So what I've done up to now is just a scam, huh? I mean, I've literally risked my life, and on the basis of one lousy incident, you're gonna call me a liar?
Look, Babs, just a couple of days ago, I told you how much I hoped you wouldn't turn back to your old friends for support, and you promised me you wouldn't.
And that promise still holds, you bozo.
Look, am I so inaccessible that you can't come to me for help, that you gotta go back to your old ways?
Oh, brother, leave it to you to twist things around so you come out smelling like a rose. Well, look, Buster, I got news for you. I'm the one who's been wronged here. What about innocent until proven guilty, huh?
I got all the proof I need.
You got nothing. Look, I'm sorry I can't go into the details right now,
Well,
but
thank goodness for that.
what you think happened didn't happen. And after all we've been through together, I think that'd be enough for you.
Well, like we say in the courtroom, silence implies consent.
And like we say on the streets, there's no such thing as justice, especially when you leave it in the hands of lawyers.
Oh, while we're deciding what to order, would you please bring me a malt whiskey on the rocks, and for the young lady, what?
Club soda with a twist of lemon, please. Mr. Cardello, forgive my boldness, but the other day you mentioned that you were in finance. What exactly does that involve?
You sure you're not a reporter?
Fairly sure. No, I really am interested in what you do.
Finance. Well, you might say I'm in, lending companies.
Lending companies. You mean like savings and loan banks?
Yeah. Yes. Something like that.
Something like that.
Something. Marianne, I didn't take a pretty girl to lunch just to talk business.
Okay, one more question. Then I promise you can pick whatever subject you want to, all right?
Okay.
Obviously, you have extensive business contacts. I would like you to consider something.
What's that?
I want you to offer your son a job.
Oh, I don't know, Marianne. If I were to offer Russell a job, I'm afraid he might just consider it a handout.
Yeah, I know. He's got that stupid male pride.
Hey, be careful there. You know he gets that from me.
Well, maybe. But you're a man of common sense. Somehow I get the impression that if you were in a similar situation, you would recognize that as opportunity knocking and seize it wholeheartedly.
Maybe I even did. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, to Marianne Prescott, a very perceptive young woman.
Why, thank you, sir.
You know, Russ is very lucky to have found you.
Would you at least consider what I've said? If anyone can get through to him, you can. I really believe that.